Hello, Capricorn. This is your July 2020. First card, Capricorn, that we're going to start off with is the Four of Swords. So, with the Four of Swords, Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. All right, you guys, I think you kind of know what's coming here, but I'm going to start off with temporary. Something is temporary. I keep hearing that you guys are waiting and figuring that somebody's not coming back, somebody's not returning, but it is temporary. So that's the word that keeps coming out. So in the month of July, you're going to hear the word temporary said a lot of times. You're also going to be seeing the number 1111, so pay attention to that. Some of you know that there's a moon around, which means there's secrets still. There's something still being kept from you or hidden from you. All right, so be careful with that. When we talk about the Four of Swords, it does have other meanings. It can mean strife. It can mean retreat. So some of you may be, trying to take some time out, so to speak. Some of you may be going in more into your spiritual side. But I can see that for a lot of you, you're kind of just laying there taking everything in. For some of you, you are meditating. For some of you, you are kind of feeling the pain, so to speak, as if you're just kind of, looks like you're kind of giving up, right? Looks like you're just waiting and waiting. But then we come up with the Ten of Swords. And with the Ten of Swords, and I'll put that card here for you to see. With the Ten of Swords, this card's going to talk a little bit more about failure, pain. So it's talking about you tried to make something work. You reached out. You were trying to reach for a solution, for an answer. I think a lot of you thought that it was that you could fix it or change something yourself, but you got so close, but yet you were still so far away. A lot of you thought one thing of change about you would help to repair the relationship, would bring them back to you. Some of you kept blaming yourself and self-sabotaging pretty much the situation, feeling like maybe you weren't enough or you weren't good enough, but that could not be further from the truth. Could not be further from the truth. The next card that comes up for you guys is, in fact, the Judgment card. So when we talk about the Judgment card speaks about awakening, renewal, rejuvenation. The Justice card, the Judgment card also can talk about promotion, improvement. So be patient, because this is kind of like your light at the end of the tunnel. This is like saying to you that don't lose your faith. Keep your hope strong, because they are going to come back towards you. The question is, are you going to want them when they do? See, a lot of you are sitting right now pondering, thinking about what's to come and what will happen when they come. A lot of you think that this will be your end-all, be-all, meaning the answers to all your prayers when they return. But in fact, you may have a very rude awakening. You may finally realize that, you know what? It wasn't them, particularly them at all, that you wanted. You just wanted someone to be there. Anybody could fill that void. You just did not want to be alone. A lot of you are going to find out there's a lot of things going on right now for you to work on renewing who you are, renewing your strengths, renewing your self-worth. There is going to be a rebirth of some sort for you. Some of you may be talking about pregnancies. There may be a couple of you that had miscarriages, but for the majority of you, I just feel like it is a rebirth of a spiritual kind of baby, meaning that you're going to start believing in your faith now. You're going to put more emphasis on God or your higher power. The next card that's going to come up for you guys is, in fact, the King of Pentacles. So when we speak about the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles looks like somebody who's pretty much having his cake and eating it too. When we talk about the King of Pentacles, this is a reliable person. They have a lot of steadiness. Maybe they have a very good income. Maybe this person holds a very good job. Maybe they do make very good money. However, they can afford the luxuries that's around them. Maybe this person was the one who supported you financially. And with them gone, you're finding yourself struggling now, not knowing what to do. This person definitely took charge and was in charge of the money, so to speak. This person may be holding out on you now and keeping money from you at this point. So be careful with that. Next, you have up the Lover's card. And the Lover's card will talk about for the month of July how you're going to try to work together with something, the way you're going to try to find harmony and balance in a situation. The Lover's card also talks about trust and romance. Definitely optimism here. There's honor, there's love, there's harmony. So you can see the balance that comes between the two of you. Although you both have on striped pants and you both have on solid tops. Okay, but you can see that there is still a difference between, it's kind of like the yin and yang going on between the two of you. For a lot of you, there may be some delays about getting back together. There may be things that have to be talked out or worked out before this happens. Some of you, I can feel the Fool card around, which means there is beginnings and possibilities here. However, and pleasure will come with that. But for some of you, it is going to be an adventure to get back to this point, adventure to get back together. For some of you, the opportunity is going to be knocking at your door, so to speak. It could be knocking at your text messages. It could be knocking on social media. But either way, it's going to be knocking. Question is, are you going to answer the door? The next card that feels really strong is the Chariot card, and I don't have that in front of me, but it's what I hear. So I'm telling you about the Chariot card is talking about rushed decision. Sorry about that. You know, like making too fast of a decision. Being caught up in something. Making a decision for the wrong reason. Okay? Be careful of vengeance as well. Now, there is going to be some adversity between the two of you. And that's something you're going to have to work through. But it is going to definitely persevere. So perseverance is one of the main words used for the Chariot card. So I do feel like that is coming very strong. Now you have the Justice card. So the Justice card definitely speaks of truth. It also is equality. So it's going to talk about equal rights, meaning what they can do, you can do. It's not so much of do what I say, but do as I do kind of thing. So that's what it needs to be. I also feel like with the Justice card, that talks about harmony and balance, but honor as well. Respecting one another, respecting each other's privacies as well. Somebody around here was definitely snooping, maybe going in wallets, pants pockets, looking in the car, different things like that, looking at phone records, whatever. Somebody did not have the trust that was needed for this relationship to move forward, which is maybe where the problem began. Some of you did deal with a cheating partner, a manipulating partner, and as well as someone who was quite narcissistic, and I think you're aware of that. Those things and energies will not change, even when this person comes back. Be prepared to still deal with manipulation. Be prepared to still deal with narcissistic behavior. The next card comes up is the Ten of Pentacles. So where the Ten of Pentacles is placed, as you can see, Ten of Pentacles has a lot of things going on here. There's a lot going on with the Ten of Pentacles, but most of all, wealth, property, and stability. So for a lot of you, what's coming? And again, it's going to be up to you on whether or not you accept it in. However, what's coming is the offer of wealth, property, and stability. Remember, this person is the one who kind of holds the key to your finances. This person is the one who can either make or break you financially at this point in time, so be careful. This person may also dangle that carrot over your head, meaning I pay the bills, I've got the money, so don't question me, don't ask me things. Some of you may feel quite stuck in the situation, so just be careful of that. Another card that comes up for you guys is the Nine of Pentacles. So when we speak about the Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles is about solitude. It's about your well-being. It's also about having a green thumb. So a lot of you may have gotten busy in the garden, trying to keep yourself busy, keep your mind occupied. Some of you are definitely enjoying your peace and quiet with your solitude. Some of you are just sitting back, trying to get through each and every day patiently. Some of you may have been out of work for some time and still home, so you have a lot of time on your hands. And then to have a relationship that's not where you want it to be, when you could spend all this time with them instead of being by yourself, I get it would be a good thing. However, you know, everything has its time, and time will happen in God's timing only. So be patient. Be patient. Again, when we talk about the pentacles here, your well-being is the most important thing. So trying to keep your mind in a positive place, trying to keep yourself from getting overwhelmed or depressed is also going to be helpful. For some of you, I hear the Queen of Pentacles, and that is talking about your intelligence, your thoughtfulness. That's also talking about your talents that you have. Some of you may be creating your own business or trying to do something from home. It also feels like there's a lot of, though, mistrust going on with the situation. There's definitely something to do with suspicion and maybe neglect. So maybe your partner was, in fact, neglecting you for quite some time, which is why I'm questioning why you want this person to come back if they have not changed. I know a lot of you have a lot of hopes and that this partner would maybe get their life together while they were away. Maybe they'd finally figure something out because of the way they treated you. For some of you, it's kind of like the Queen of Swords reversed, where somebody's deceitful, so be careful. I'm not sure who that's for. And for some of you, you may be dealing with somebody that's a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, which could be kind of like the King of Swords in reversed. That person would be quite evil intentions. That person is very vengeful. That person passes judgment on you. That person may not give you compliments. They make you feel less than, or they make you feel like you're incompetent, or make you feel as if you're not good enough. So if that is who you're dealing with, then that definitely you need, and it is a water sign, then you need to move forward from there. Then you'll be able to look at the Eight of Swords in reverse, which will give you freedom, new beginnings, and you'll be able to finally relax like you see in this picture. Because as the Nine of Pentacles, that's what we want to get you to the point where you're having solitude, you're having peace and quiet. You're able to think without somebody else's words confusing your mind. For some of you, I'm listening, and I keep hearing, okay, so the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups talks about being dissatisfied in a situation, but it also talks about reevaluating something. So before you do take this partner back, take this time now that you have in this solitude to reevaluate the whole situation, and I mean all of it. Not just a few good things that you can remember, but also the negative things. Remember that, so when you try to think about whether or not you'll accept their apology or let them come back in, put yourself first. Do you want to continue on the same path that you were on? Do you honestly believe that you can change them because you can't? The only person you can change is you? So if they're not fitting the bill, so to speak, if they're not measuring up the way they should, then it is definitely a lesson that you had to go through, but you also got to learn about what you do want and what you don't want, and they made it very clear. So now you'll be able to make a very good positive decision on whether or not you want them to stay or you want them to go. July is going to be the month where you're going to make decisions about yourself, about your romance, about your relationships, about your willingness to protect yourself first, because if you don't do it, nobody else will. Friendships, new friendships are on the way or on the horizon, as well as the opportunity for new relationships. So don't feel you need to settle on this one, because there definitely will be other love interest coming right down the path before August and September get here. All right, so that is your monthly for July. Take care, everybody.